Okay, so today we're going to talk about why teens need youth ministry. Do you guys know what Spew is? Spew is a game that we play in lock-ins and at different retreats and stuff, where you take an Alka-Seltzer tab and you stick it in your mouth, and then you take like a half a cup of like Sprite or root beer or something, and you put it in your mouth with that Alka-Seltzer tab, and you have to hold it as long as you can. And the person who spews that Sprite or the with the Alka-Seltzer tab loses, because the Alka-Seltzer builds up all the pressure and stuff. And so that's just a game that we play, and everybody loves to see who can hold it the longest and stuff. And so that's just, and they're building community, and so that's one way that they are um, growing in youth ministry. And there's five different areas that we're, to talk about why teens really do need youth ministry. And one is that teens need models and mentors. Uh, we have an established setup at our church that we have different adults that help mentor our students in different grades. We have fifth and sixth, middle school, which is seventh and eighth, and then high school, 9 through 12. We have different adults that come in and help, and they need good role models. So I have a mix of single college students who are of age, and then I have older families, couples who are married. My wife and I help, and then we have families and my kids help out. They're part of it, so they get to see a wide range of what youth ministry is and what ministry and just in general and families are all together. Teenagers, like I said, need community. They need to be part of something bigger than just themselves. And that community that we offer in youth ministry is a unique community, and it's separated from everything else that they do. They have sports and school and work and everything else, but we're set aside differently, that we're faith based, and they need that community. They also need a mission. They want to come to church, and they want to come to wherever, and they want to have some purpose, something in their life that they can do, and that's what we give them. We show them what they're supposed to do in their faith and how to live out that faith uh, in community, in with everybody else. And they also need theology. They need a little bit of, and this is on slide number 2 of your handout here. All of these listed what they need, and the theology that they need to be able to question and ask questions about their faith and the things that we've taught them. Just like tonight at youth group, we had a bunch of students who were asking about, well, why does God do this, and why can't God just get rid of everything, all of the sin and everything in the world? And so they're struggling with their understanding of God and theology, which is a safe place to do that. And speaking of safe places, teenagers need a safe place to confess and confide. And I have a bunch of teenagers who do that, who confide in us as the adults that help mentor them. Because we're not their parents, and we're not their teachers, and we're not anybody else. We're just a separate set of adults that they can talk to, that they can come to um, confide in them. Well, why on your next slide is a pretty sad statistic about um, that 28% of younger Americans between 23 and 37, so after they've gotten out of youth group, um, are the only ones who attend. 28% of that are the ones who attend church, and the other generations range between 43 and 52%. So we've got a big gap after they leave youth group. They lose their faith, they kind of shelve it or put it aside, and they don't come back to it. And so that's a big part of why they need youth ministry, and they need it done right. They need to be able to be in ministry and be seen as being important, vital role of the community, so that when they do leave youth, they're just not leaving the party. They're actually just moving on to a different version of church and the community. And on your next slide, it says 55% of Christian parents generally consider involvement in youth group to be of equal importance to extracurricular activities, and 30% say it's more important. So, and that's what we struggle with now, is that the importance of youth ministry when it comes to extracurricular activities, and what it means on like college transcripts, what it means to our acceptance packages, and it doesn't really have a spot in most colleges as far as, yeah, you're part of youth group and stuff. Yeah, that's great. And I think that's why you only see 55% saying. The other 55, they're trying to get their kids in different sporting events so that they can be in line with everybody else as they're trying to put their packages together for colleges. Uh, but youth ministry does have a vital role. It, like I said, it offers that community and that place for them to feel safe and for them to question their own theology and their own understanding of God. So, what can we do to get teens more involved? We need to reach out and we need to be part of their lives and we need to be in relationship with them. And that's a big part of what I do and what a lot of other youth ministers do and a lot of other adults who help out. We take our time to invest in their lives and are concerned about what they're doing. We go to their sporting events, we go to their school events, we go to their places of work, and I've got a couple students who work in an ice cream shop, and I've eaten more ice cream than I can tell you because um, it means something to them, and it shows them that I care about what they're doing. And then I've gone to their one act plays and their competitions and stuff like that because once you're in relationship with them and they can see that you actually care, they are more willing to open up to you and more willing to talk to you about the things that really matter, their theology, their faith, the things that are bothering them, their own day-to-day lives. They're more willing to talk to you about that. And the numbers that I got were from like the 7 facts about the state of the youth ministry came from Youth Specialties. Barrett and Costello wrote the 9 important stats for 2017 in the church, and that was um, the dismal number on uh, the church attendance. And then parents of teenagers, 5 reasons why you should keep your teen involved. That was the number of how many people find interest in sporting events versus church and how they see that. And so we just have to do a consistent job of being in relationship with these students. And a lot of people they don't want to spend that time, but that time is crucial because that's what it's about. Time. You got to put time in and you got to be in ministry with them, showing them how to live, not just telling them. You have to show them by example, by the way that you live, by the way that you carry yourself, and the way that you interact on a faith basis regularly. And then just make them part of your life and just do ministry together. And so that's why it's important for youth to be in youth ministries and youth groups around our country, is that we have the opportunity to uniquely show them what they can become if they follow their faith.